Hello, sports fans, and welcome to a summer edition of the Oklahoma Sports Report here from the Winston in Norman. The founder there, Mr. Winston himself, Hal Winston Smith, named after that great restaurant here in Norman. Mark Rodgers, Rick Heath with you. Mark, lots of things are happening this summer. Let's start with the fact that the Thunder Summer League team starts this week.
Yeah, it'd be good to see the rookies get out there and play. Again, a couple of guys that I think, the first round, Jalen Williams, maybe not on everybody's draft radar, and then also Jang, a player from overseas that fans haven't had a chance to see much of. So there'll be a massive overreaction to what happens in the Summer League.
Of course. I'll be the first one to overreact.
And those guys should be amongst the most talented. Chet should be amongst the most talented players that play in the Summer League.
Well, okay. So those three alone, Chet, Ying, and J-Dub. I'm trying to get these. They got nicknames now, J-Dub and J-Will.
Right.
And J-Will was a second rounder from Arkansas. Okay. J-Dub was from Fresno.
Santa Clara.
Santa Clara. They're in California.
Yep.
But Chet's got to be the focus. What are your expectations for him?
Well, my expectations are he's going to look really good. I think that he will play really good defense. He'll help the Thunder inside. I think people are going to be a little bit surprised at how he's able to help the team get into transition. I think his length is going to be something that folks probably haven't had a chance to see him play a lot, and see if he shoots it well. That should translate. The NBA three-point line is a little further out than the college three-point line, so we'll see if his percentage of over 40 holds up.
Well, I would take anywhere from 35 plus, but we'll talk about that more in just a minute. We are at the Winston here in Norman. Mark Rodgers, Rick Heath, and they have some great new specials this summer at the Winston. They have cheesy crab dip with buttered toast, cream cheese, Parmesan cheese, cheddar cheese. Also have a surf and turf with house-made hollandaise, and the thing I'm most interested in, tropical juleps, spirits with pineapple syrup, mint, and bourbon. So I may have to try one of those tropical mint juleps here before too long.
Nice.
It is a warm day, but we are here inside at the Winston in Norman.
EDS Paintless Dent Repair is your one-stop shop for auto body repair. Whether it be from hail damage, dents, scratches, or even glass replacement and repair, we can accommodate all your needs. Locally owned and operated since 2005, EDS Paintless Dent Repair is here for you. Give us a call at 405-476-1763 or go to edspaintlessdentrepair.com. The painting professionals at Ray the Painter are committed to providing all of our customers excellent service and attention to detail. Since we started in 1991, Ray the Painter serves the entire OKC metro area. We do interiors, exteriors, residential, and commercial work. The experts at Ray the Painter offer custom finishes and glazes for cabinetry and woodwork, as well as spray, brush, roller, and trowel techniques to get the perfect look for your project. For a free estimate, call 405-605-3563 or visit us at paintokc.com. EDS Paintless Dent Repair is your one-stop shop for auto body repair. Whether it be from hail damage, dents, scratches, or even glass replacement and repair, we can accommodate all your needs. Locally owned and operated since 2005, EDS Paintless Dent Repair is here for you. Give us a call at 405-476-1763 or go to edspaintlessdentrepair.com.
Okay, sports fans, we do the Thunder Weekly each week, but there's a lot of things I like to support that are Oklahoma products. I like to go around and do shows from Oklahoma businesses, but one of the businesses I want to talk about is Prairie Wolf Distillery, now Wander Folk Spirits. Wander Folk Spirits distilled out of Guthrie, Oklahoma. Great line of spirits. They have Wander Folk Gin, Wander Folk Vodka, and Old Moses Bourbon. All of these are quality products, and they're distilled right here in Oklahoma. So if you come to like Cohiba Lounge, ask for a Wander Folk Gin and Tonic, or ask for a Wander Folk Vodka and Tonic, or a club special. It's getting where you can get that now. It's getting warmer. A vodka club special made with Wander Folk Vodka. Great selection, and you're supporting Oklahoma businesses. So support Oklahoma business. Ask your favorite restaurants. or bar to carry Wanderfolk spirits.
At Laser Light Skin Clinic, our most popular treatment is now more affordable than ever. Right now, you can save up to 50% on Cool Sculpting, the #1 choice for non-invasive fat reduction. Our flexible treatment plans allow you to choose the option that is perfect for you. Focus on a single problem area or revive your life with a fresh new you. These are real results. For your personal Cool Sculpting consultation, call Laser Light Skin Clinic today. A new you awaits.
And welcome back to the Winston here in Norman, the Winston part of the Hal Smith Restaurant Group, of course, including Jams next door here on Main Street. And there are 5 Jams restaurants here in the state now. The newest one on Northeast 2nd Street in Edmond. So if you're living in Edmond, you no longer are jamless. You now have a jam. You don't have to travel to Oklahoma City to get that wonderful jam food, lunch, and brunch. And speaking of lunch and brunch, they also have a great lunch and brunch right here at the Winston in Norman. So if you're in Norman, you have great selection here on Main Street, side by side, Jams and the Winston here on Main Street. Let's get back to the Summer League, because I've never really been excited about Summer League, okay?
All right.
All of a sudden now, because of the Thunder and the new additions, I'm excited to watch the games.
I think the Summer League always comes at the right time. You look around, there's not a whole lot of other things going on right now in the world of sports in terms of on the floor or on the court type action.
Well, okay, cornhole, Summer League, pickleball,
Smash ball.
Summer League, smash ball,
Slam ball,
Summer
whatever.
League.
No, it's not. It'll be fun to see the team compete a little bit out there, both in Utah and Vegas.
Well, and here's the thing about it is, the reason why I'm excited is because, they've got 3 first-round draft choices, 3 lottery picks. That's unusual in itself. And the #2 pick, which the last time they had a #2 pick, turned out pretty good.
It did, with Kevin Durant. Right. I think that, again, there's some unknowns about some of the other picks on this team. I think Chet kind of know.
Yeah.
I know that the expectations for him all over the board, but it will be good, and I think this is going to be, clearly one of the very youngest teams in the NBA next season, and they're really going to enter that developmental phase that Sam Presti's talking about, and this is going to be the core of the group that they have in the next 4 or 5 years to try to get back and compete.
Okay, so let's kind of go over for people out there that may not be as familiar. Chet Holmgren, #2 pick, 7-footer, Gonzaga, storied college career, storied high school player, one of the top players in this draft, if not the top player. So he's going to present a 7-footer that can move, can handle the ball, that can shoot, can block. Let's talk about what the expectations are. We talked about it just briefly, but okay, 12, 14, 16 points, something like that?
That's a good question. I think the one thing that he has to do to help this team win is he's got to play some defense. They don't really have a whole lot of presence at the rim. His
If
size,
nothing else,
his frame,
is that satisfying? Is that enough? If he provides that presence at the rim?
I think you want him to space the floor. I think you want to look at low turnovers. I don't think you want him out there going crazy, trying to do too much. So I don't really know how to put a category on his numbers. You know what I'm saying? Is that I do think that I would expect double-figure points, pretty high, significant amount of rebounds, not necessarily double-double. That's pretty good for a rookie. Low turnovers, and then blocks, I think, needs to be there.
And one of the things that I hadn't thought about in his equation is low turnovers, and that's a great point, because a lot of rookies get excited. They get into the flow and things start happening faster. They're not used to it. And those passes that they were used to making in college, you flip it out there and the guy goes the other way with it because you're not anticipating the speed of which this game is. That's one of those things that I think should be important for him. And I see on Twitter, and I'm back and forth with the fans that are the Thunder talking about, well, he's so thin, he's going to get cooked by the big guys.
Well, he's also pretty tough and he's pretty athletic. I think ideally there's some big players in the league that could push him around physically, like a Jonas Valanciunas, that push a lot of people around. The's not a whole lot of centers that have that type
yeah,
of
there's
body,
not a lot of them
right?
that can hold up against him anyway.
Yeah, no, he's a big guy. Hey, we'll have to see. I mean, I think that he's tough. He's not afraid to fight you, and I think that'll be a pro.
Well, and one of the things I always responded with, he's going to do some cooking too. He may get cooked every once in a while down low by big bodies, but when he brings them out, like you said, that perimeter shot, if they let him shoot it and he demonstrates he's good at that he can shoot 30, 35% threes,
right,
they're going to have to come out. They come out, he's got the handle to go, hey, and he's right past him.
That's right.
And at the rim, at 7 foot, he can start at the free throw line and still finish.
He can finish, and you're right. Matchups do work both ways. So that'll just all be about him getting comfortable in the NBA. He's still a young player. He's going to have some time to develop. It's not going to, Rome wasn't built in a day. Chet's not going to be an NBA All-Star overnight. So
he's not even going to. Yeah, he's not going to be even Poku this first couple of weeks. And that's a bad. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bring that up. That's bad contention. Hey, we are at the Winston here in Norman, where they have some new summer fare. Cheesy crab dip with butter toast with cream cheese, Parmesan cheese, and cheddar cheese. And they have a surf and turf, which with homemade hollandaise sauce, house-made crab cake, collinini, cauliflower and broccolini together, and a steak. So they have that available. And they also have tropical juleps with your favorite syrup in it, pineapple syrup, mint, bourbon, and whatever else you would like. All at the Winston here on Main Street in Norman. We'll be right back.
The painting professionals at Ray the Painter are committed to providing all of our customers excellent service and attention to detail. Since we started in 1991, Ray the Painter serves the entire OKC metro area. We do interiors, exteriors, residential, and commercial work. The experts at Ray the Painter offer custom finishes and glazes for cabinetry and woodwork, as well as spray, brush, roller, and trowel techniques to get the perfect look for your project. For a free estimate, call 405-605-3563 or visit us at paintokc.com. EDS Paintless Dent Repair is your one-stop shop for auto body repair. Whether it be from hail damage, dents, scratches, or even glass replacement and repair, we can accommodate all your needs. Locally owned and operated since 2005, EDS Paintless Dent Repair is here for you. Give us a call at 405-476-1763 or go to edspaintlessdentrepair.com.
Okay, sports fans, we do the Thunder Weekly each week, but there's a lot of things I like to support that are Oklahoma products. I like to go around and do shows from Oklahoma businesses, but one of the businesses I want to talk about is Prairie Wolf Distillery, now Wander Folk Spirits. Wander Folk Spirits distilled out of Guthrie, Oklahoma. Great line of spirits. They have Wander Folk Gin, Wander Folk Vodka, and Old Moses Bourbon. All of these are quality products, and they're distilled right here in Oklahoma. So if you come to like Cohiba Lounge, ask for a Wander Folk Gin and Tonic, or ask for a Wander Folk Vodka and Tonic, or a club special. It's getting where you can get that now. It's getting warmer. A vodka club special made with Wander Folk Vodka. Great selection, and you're supporting Oklahoma businesses. So support Oklahoma business. Ask your favorite restaurant or bar to carry Wander Folk Spirits.
At Laser Light Skin Clinic, our most popular treatment is now more affordable than ever. Right now, you can save up to 50% on Cool Sculpting, the #1 choice for non-invasive fat reduction. Our flexible treatment plans allow you to choose the option that is perfect for you. Focus on a single problem area or revive your life with a fresh new you. These are real results. For your personal Cool Sculpting consultation, call Laser Light Skin Clinic today. A new you awaits.
And welcome back. Mark Rodgers, Rick Heath from the Winston in Norman. Hey, let me tell you about Wander Folk Spirits. Wander Folk Spirits distilled in Guthrie, Oklahoma. A great Oklahoma brand with vodka, gin, Old Moses whiskey, and a wonderful coffee liqueur that they have out there. And they're all wonderful. They're great. They're Oklahoma distilled, and they're very, very tasty. So if you're in your local bar or liquor store doesn't carry Wander Folk Spirits, ask for it, because they have a wonderful array of spirits distilled right here in Guthrie, Oklahoma. So go and ask for that, and you will enjoy. Mark, let's talk a little bit about NBA trades, free agency, things like that. What piqued your interest so far in the free agency that's been going on in the NBA?
Well, I think we're going to wait to see where Kevin Durant goes and where Kyrie Irving goes.
No, I don't care about Kevin Durant. Sorry, I don't care. Mark him off. He's no longer part of my
He's going to have a big impact on where the NBA championship goes, I think, next year.
Wait, I got to ask you, though. What about KD saying, I'll only go to a contender, and I would go back to Golden State? Tell me about that,
Well,
Mark.
Golden State, I mean, I don't know how Golden State feels about Kevin Durant, but I'd have to think that they would want him back. And they do have a bunch of assets that they could trade. And so that would just, I mean, talk about winning championships. I mean, it sucks for the rest of the NBA, but they're not counting that on the curve.
Yeah, they have the assets. They can do Wiseman, they can do Wiggins, they can do Poole, and maybe a couple first rounders, and get, and that way they're assured of being in the NBA finals for the next 2 or 3 years.
It would look really good. I don't know. I mean, there could be injuries. Injuries got the Warriors one time in the finals, so it's not a guarantee. I mean, Phoenix or Miami would be a really good option. I mean, he would do a lot of things for both of those teams that stalled and stagnated in the half court in the playoffs. So, I mean, it's a big deal. Sean Marks could talk to Sam Presti about how this whole thing went down. It's basically the same thing that happened in Oklahoma City, is where you have to get rid of 2 superstars and try to get the most in return. The Nets are just in a little bit different situation where they feel like pretty good about recruiting free agents. Joe Tsai got a lot of money.
KD signed told Thunder he'd be back and then left goodbye. So he didn't get any assets.
That was a lot of different story.
Didn't get any assets back.
Right.
So that's the kind of the burnt bridge as far as I'm concerned. But if you're Kevin Durant, why would you want to go back? And I know it's just trophy hunting, but golly,
same reason he went the first time.
You got to swallow a lot of pride to go, I can't win unless I have Steph next to me.
Winning still is fun. I mean, at the end of the day, I think that it's not. What wasn't fun was getting swept out of the playoffs this year by the Celtics. So I don't think it's going to be the Warriors, but I do think it'll be a 3-team deal or a multiple-team deal that gives Brooklyn back a really good player, and it's quite a few picks.
Yeah. Well, and I understand. I mean, he said he wants to be traded, so you have to accommodate him at that point. How about his sidekick, Kyrie Irving?
Oh, man. I think Kyrie wants to play for the Lakers. But what are the Lakers going to do with Russell Westbrook's contract? I don't know where that's going to go. I don't know how that's going to work out.
$47 million.
It's a lot of money. That's, again, going to take a third team, and who knows? The Spurs are looking to take on some salary. They're kind of going through a little bit of the same thing that Oklahoma City is. So I
can't see Westbrook and Popovich.
I think
now maybe that's the match that's so far apart that actually works. I don't know.
I don't know what the Spurs are really trying to do other than rebuild, and if they do, then I think Russell will be all right in that process. And I think Pop would definitely appreciate some things about Russell. He's obviously stubborn as a player, but he does compete.
Well, and he always gives that 100%, no matter what. So that's Popovich likes that, and at some point, I like that better than I do him going to the Nets, but that's neither here nor there because it's just my preference. Right. How about free agent like Zion? Zion wasn't a free agent; he was an extension, $250 million perhaps. If he does the certain parameters, would you give that much for Zion?
I think you have to. I mean, you made that pick, and he does have the potential to be a difference maker. And if we're going back and talking about when he was drafted, what potential excitement that he brought to the table and all of that. Now, not played very many games in the last 3 years, but he has got to
80-something out of 300.
Got to keep himself in shape.
Yeah.
I mean, that's very, very important.
Do you go to him and say, hey, we'll sign this, but you got to give us something here. You got to give us an assurance that you're 100% in and that you're going to take care of yourself. You're going to listen to our trainers or your trainer or something. You got to have something back in order to push that much money on the table.
I don't know that. I don't know what concessions that they could extract from him. So it's a good question. I think you got to be very nervous if you are the Pelicans, but you have to do that.
If I'm the family that's signing that check, I'm real nervous because you may not be there. Hey, we are at the Winston. If you're asking where we are at the Winston here in Norman on Main Street, and you can come by and have wonderful lunch, dinner, and brunch, all available here at the Winston. We'll be right back after this. And welcome back. Rick Heath Mark Rodgers from the Winston here in Norman, a great House Smith restaurant group. Part of that, as well as Jams next door. And Jams has 5 locations in the state now, the newest being on Northeast 2nd Street in Edmond. So if you're looking for a great place in Edmond to have brunch or lunch, Jams on 2nd Street is another one to do. And there's one in Tulsa and with another one coming, plus the other 4 here in the Oklahoma City area. Mark, if you listen real closely, you can hear the world spinning in college football.
Yeah,
right
it's
now.
spinning pretty quickly.
Yes.
It's headed towards. It's a really, if you can produce revenue, if you can generate television interest, then you're going to get to play in the SEC or the Big Ten. And if you can't, then you're going to make a lot less money than those schools that are playing in the Big Ten and the SEC. So I think we're going to have basically two super conferences that have around 40 teams in it, somewhere close to that, and that's going to be a vast separation between that and everyone else.
Yeah. And, okay, so OU and Texas last year, SEC. Same thing USC and UCLA are doing to the Big Ten. They want to migrate where the money is. They want to put themselves in position to move forward. What happens to the Big 12? What happens to the rest of the Pac-10?
Well, the Big 12 and the Pac-10 and whatever else, I don't know what the formation of those conferences are going to be, but the Big 12's TV rights are up in 2025. The Pac-12's TV rights are up in 2024. And so those negotiations are going to determine who plays and at what level. They're going to be significantly less in the SECs and the Big Tens. Could one of those conferences dissolve? Could it be the Pac-12? It could be.
And be absorbed into the
it's a good question.
Big 12, make it the Big 16? I don't know.
Again, there's properties in that league that are very valuable. Stanford, I think, has got a shot at the Big Ten. Washington State and Oregon State, especially Washington State, they have no shot at anything.
Oregon State, Washington State are going to the Mountain West or something, right?
Yeah, right. And it would be the same thing as what would happen in the Big 12 to a school like Kansas State or Kansas.
Iowa State.
So potentially, yeah. So I think that's an issue for those schools. I think the Big 12 is really trying to be pretty proactive to talk to those schools that would fit here, which are Colorado, Utah, Arizona State, and if they could get a commitment from Oregon and Washington, they'd love to have it. But I think Oregon and Washington are more focused on trying to get into the Big Ten.
Yeah, I don't know that they can get in the Big Ten, but if I'm out there, if I'm the Big 12, I'm saying, hey, we want you, we love you, come be a part of our package. We have the Central Time Zone and the Pacific Time Zone. We can make those TV work for you.
Yeah.
So
right.
At all that being said and done, where does it leave the ACC?
The ACC has a contract with television, and it's not a big one. I mean, they're making not very much money from ESPN through the year 2036.
Again, that's minimal. I mean, that's one of those that you want to, hey, let's renegotiate.
Well,
but there's no leverage there.
And for example, the ACC schools, I could see moving into the SEC. Now, since ESPN controls the ACC contract, one way to tear that contract up and renegotiate it at a little bit better deal would be to say, okay, look, this ACC isn't going to have Clemson and Florida State and whatever. Yeah. And then they might be able to expand and add a team, but that's going to would be the payout to get those schools to leave. And we would see how that happens, but I think clearly those schools are going to want to do that. And ESPN can play hardball with them and say, hey, look, you want to make, if you think it's bad today, $240 million in the year 2035, I mean, that's not going to work for the ACC. They're going to be forced to renegotiate that.
They're going to have to, And so what we're thinking about happening here is there's going to be 2 major 20-team conferences that are going to control college football and TV revenue.
We're getting there quicker than I would have thought.
And that means a expanded playoff format. I mean, surely it's got to mean that.
I know what
right?
it means. I think it depends on if you have battle lines drawn between ESPN and Fox. If ESPN is able to continue to broadcast Big Ten games, I think that makes things a little bit easier. But you could have 2 conferences with separate playoffs and invited large teams, or you could have 2 conferences with playoffs, and then a Super Bowl. There's a lot of things on the table out there that I think would work. I know people are freaked out. It's something different, but college football with NIL, open transfer, conference realignment is not going to be the sport it was 5 years ago. It's not even close. It's just
not even 5 months ago.
Buckle up and get used to it.
That's right, because it's changing so fast that we may not know what it's happening by football season.
Yeah, the good news for Oklahoma, at least for OU, is that they've put together 70 years of great football history, and they're going to be part of the group that makes the money and competes.
Yes, they have the heritage and the notoriety and the name. They're going to be a part of it. So you out there, don't worry about college football. It may look different, but OU will be included. For Mark Rodgers, I'm Rick Heath. We'll see you next time from the Oklahoma Sports Report.